Hey guys, and welcome to Little Black Boat 91. We are here giving you guys Blue Therapy Aftermath review. The UK is responding and giving our take on the two aftermath programs that happened. So I am joined by two fabulous co-hosts. You might have seen them on the last one that we did, but I'm going to let them introduce themselves. Sophie and Fabrice. But we'll let Sophie go first and then we'll let Fabrice introduce herself and let you know where you can find them.
Sure. My name is Sophie Hannah. At I'm Sophie Hannah is where you can find me for all my content creation. Make sure you go and follow me on YouTube where I do content, film reviews, interviews, various bits. So make sure you go over there and subscribe, and make sure you go and follow me on Instagram as well. At I'm Sophie Hannah. Got some really exciting stuff coming this summer, so I'm very excited, and I want to make sure that you don't miss it. So make sure you go over and give it a follow. Also trying to get to 1,000 followers on Instagram this year. You guys show mad support. I'm like 25 away. Make sure you keep going, keep clicking, keep liking, keep subscribing. Love you guys.
Lovely.
Hi, and I'm Fabrice, and so you can find me on Instagram under That's Why I'm Fab. So I'm a content creator, so I have a podcast with two other Black millennials, and it's called Black No Filter. That's also on Instagram, so Black No Filter. And then I've also just created a intimate online praise and worship session for anybody who's looking for something really exciting to do and to watch, and that's called Divine Sessions. And you can find it on YouTube and on Instagram. So yeah, you can find everything about me under That's Why I'm Fab.
Love that, love that. So we are talking about Blue Therapy Aftermath, parts 1 and part 2. Obviously we got to see first and foremost Jamal and also Deborah, and I was quite surprised, okay, that they were still trying to make things happen, especially as the way that it ended. I mean, you know, when someone cheats on you the way he did and brought you to a therapy session to make you think like you are the fool, that's when you know someone really trying to play you like a fool. But then we get to kind of see them obviously in the aftermath and looking stylish, looking, you know, all dressed in white, looking like they're about to be in Cisco's Thong Song video. And then they start discussing about their relationship and letting us know, obviously, first and foremost, I've put it la-tete, which means to do, like, if you do me, I do you. All right? We found out then, obviously, now, you know, Deborah also, when she was single, bear in mind, I want to make that very clear, she was single at the point in time, or they were on a break or whatever they were on, she decided to also get with someone, and then she dropped the bar to him, to which then he called her, I think he did call her, what did he call her? Did he call Jezebel? A harlot, that's the word.
Harlot.
It was something biblical. What was you guys' thoughts on Jamal and Deborah's kind of situation? Fabrice, I see your face. Go for it.
Oh, okay. I'll go first. I wasn't upset with Deborah whatsoever. And I don't, like, for me, they were on a break. If you watch Friends with the whole Ross and Rachel thing, it was like they were on a break. You can't hold anybody accountable for being on a break. And they weren't even on a break. It was a breakup as far as she was concerned. So I have no issues with her going out and sleeping with someone else. I think Jamal acted out of his feelings. I thought it was a madness. Yes, she could have been transparent when he asked her what she was doing on the break. She decided not to. It's not her business. She doesn't need to share her sexual history with him. And him calling her a harlot, calling her names, he really needed to sit back and really just... He's really needs to sit back and sit all the way down, because he looked like a big hypocrite and an idiot.
Yeah, I agree. I actually could not believe, I mean, let's just be real, it was the audacity for me when he was like, no, hold my second. No, hold my second. Who are you puffing your chest up, sir? Because let's just be honest, if we're talking about who broke whose trust, when we were in a relationship where my expectations of you are here and your expectations of me are here, you cheated on me and you took 1,700 hours to even tell me you cheated on me in front of the fake therapist. So now you're finding out that I slept with someone or whatever it was that she wanted to do when they were actually broken up. You can't be upset about that. You can be in your feelings and embarrassed, 100%. But you can't be, and you can't call me a harlot. Are you okay? When I can't even see your phone. There's too many issues of trust there.
I think as well, audacity when he was saying, oh, what was it? You have what did he say? Oh, it was too quick. It was only 2 weeks we were broken up. I'm like, dude, I don't care if it's a day. You are not together. I am not gonna wrong any man for anything if we're not together. I don't care. Like when it was Paul and Toma, when it was just like, oh, she was still sleeping with her ex when we were casually dating. I'm just like, was it official? Because I am not here to trying to make anyone pretend like we're in a relationship when we're not. And I think the audacity of Jamal to say that when he cheated when they were in a relationship, I was like, she was single for 2 weeks, you were in a relationship. Literally, you were the one who had the responsibility, not her.
What would you have
Okay,
done
no.
though? Like, what would you have done if that was you and that you found out that your girlfriend had done that?
Can I just say ex-girlfriend?
Ex-girlfriend, sorry, you're right.
Just want to say.
How are you gonna ask for a clarification? Ex-girlfriend. I mean, to be
She was an
honest,
ex.
no, I'm with you on that. I mean, they were broken up, so it doesn't really count. Obviously, his reaction kind of shows again. I think that kind of duplicity, which is that, bro, you was out here taking long to even explain how you even cheated with your ex, and when someone's explaining that they didn't even cheat, but they slept with somebody outside of the course of the relationship, you're now calling that person a harlot. Like that, you have to be. See, before that, I was like, you know what, Jamal, you're a prick, right? Like just for doing what you did, right? Like let's keep it hunting real, right? You're just being a bit of a prick, yeah, and you cheat on your girlfriend, yeah. All right, cool. But then for you now in this situation to have this level of pride, yeah, and energy to now say that your girl's a harlot because she slept with somebody else shows me that, listen, Deborah, this is not the kind of relationship you need to be in. I don't care how many bags you get in, okay? It's not going to be worth it because in the end, all you're going to get is more of this. Do you know what I'm saying? There is no crocodile bag that's worth all these crocodile tears, girl. You understand? So I think she just needs to look at it a different way and be like, actually, do you know what? Just his response in that moment should tell you he's not mature enough to be in a relationship with you. You know what I'm saying? I actually had the beef with Deborah at first, but the world has turned around and shown me the sun shines on the other side of the world too. So
The thing is, Deborah
yeah,
ain't going nowhere, Kojo. I knew
I know
that
she
from the
ain't.
last episode of Blue Therapy. When she came back into the room and she was just like, I can't even look at you. I can't even imagine getting over this. You know, it will take like I need to think about this. I need to think. You're talking too much. I'm like, what is there to think about? We are dating and you cheated.
Ask
I
them.
can't work through that. I can't, and I know some people came after me in the comments when I said if my husband cheated and he wanted to work on it afterwards, I would. People came for me in the comments hard,
Really?
but my thing is, I'm like, yeah, they were came for me hard. They were cussing, but my thing is, if we're just in a relationship on the marriage, I'm like, I'm not sticking around. Nah, I took in terms of marriage, I'm like, I took vows. If you want to work on it, if it wasn't like a 5 year thing, nah, that's just taking a piss. But like I'd be like, do you know what? I'd be open to it. In this messed up relationship where you tried to make me think I was crazy, I can't take a man gaslighting me. When you
Of
don't want me to
course.
look at your phone, you're telling me I'm crazy and it's nothing, and she's so obsessive, she turns up to where I am, and then you're gonna be like, so I was right all along. I can't deal with the lies. It's the lies for me, so it's a no.
Why are you so obsessed with me? Sorry, the song came to my head. No, I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you. And I definitely do agree. I think but okay. So why is Deborah staying though? Because obviously, like, surely, I mean, what? She can't find another guy that can buy crocodile bags.
I think she's invested. Like to be
It's
fair, Jamal doesn't seem like a loser the majority of the time. He seems like an okay guy. Do you know
Fair
what I
enough.
mean? He seems cool. He seems cool. That's as far as I would go. Like, not for me. He's a young boy. Like, he looks like a child. But I can understand where she's kind of like the
not child.
relationship. It seemed like it was okay. Outside of this, she wants to work through it, but she's young as well. So maybe for her, this wasn't a red flag. Um, that's all I can think.
I just think she's naive, and I think she's probably thinking there's more potential in the relationship, so she's got more to gain by staying in it and sticking with them. Oh, we're going to stick together, it's going to be me and you, we're going to ride and die. I don't want to ride or die. I just want to ride. I don't want to die in the end, please. I don't want to I don't want my trust to be removed. Like, I don't want to have to go through those roller coaster up and downs. It's too much. Like, I'm too old for that. But I just think she's staying there. Because so when you're saying, when I, if it was my husband and he cheated, I'm going to stick at it because we took vows. She's probably thinking
One
he
time.
might.
I just want to be very clear. One time. One time. Let me make that clear. I'm not here to struggle up.
No, nobody wants that. But I think Deborah's thinking, you know what? We might end up married. And so let me try. I think it's the messy middle. This guy's got potential. He might be my husband. He's showing some good signs and some signs that really aren't really too sensible for me personally at my big age. If you are showing me a severe red flag, I'm out the door, because this is the best version that you're meant to be showing me. Like, this is when you're meant to be really trying to woo me and show me all the best elements of yourself. And that is now when you want to cheat on me. I just don't really know where we're going to go. Like, I couldn't do it. But more power to her for wanting to do it. Whether they actually end up together, I think, is anyone's guess.
But what did you guys think of her comment when she said she had to sit back and think about what part she might have played?
I said, you know what? I mean, when I first said it, I said, girl, he done cheated on you. Okay, what are you thinking about what you did? And then I remembered the madness that she brought in the first 2 episodes. And I said, yeah, she needs to remember what she did. No, I mean, obviously, if it's in regards to him cheating, you can't... Listen, I get it. There are instances of behavior that can contribute, but they are not the factor as to why somebody cheats, right? When someone cheats, it's because they want to cheat. Mm-hmm. No matter how much they want to tell you that there were unfavorable circumstances, you could have left first, then gone off and did what you want to do, but you didn't want to do that. You decided to keep me as a safety net, then cheat on me, and then come back. Like, no, don't try it. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, I've cheated before. I know what it is. You know what I'm saying? Just being real, So you have a safety net. That's why you did what you did, right? So there is no reason for that person cheating. But I also understand when you do continue the relationship after, though, now there needs to be a discussion openly about, okay, there may have been some factors that contributed towards a certain mindset that wasn't healthy for the relationship. For instance, let's say her bag obsession, right? She wants a crocodile bag every single time,
what is
right?
it with you in the bag? What is it with you in the bag?
I'm just talking about a crocodile bag.
Asking for a bag. Who asked you for a
Sorry, ostrich bag. Is that the same one? What's it? What's the ostrich? What's the leather? What's the leather they use nowadays? What's they use for leather?
I have no
Kangaroo bag, whichever one is leather, bruv. Yeah. Listen. So obviously, because of this particular, wanting of provision by the man, and the fact that the mindset towards the house and the mindset towards, I want him to sort everything out before I even think about helping you when we're married. Like, there was a lot of madness that she was bringing to the table. I'm going to be very honest with you. Some absurdities. The comparison she was making as well. Right, I spoke about triangulation with Paul, and she actually did the exact same thing. When you start to compare your partner to somebody else, you've brought a third party into your relationship unknowingly, and you actually begin to degrade your partner. Right, so there is no positive in that, in comparing your person to your friend's partner. I think that's also a little bit weird. That if I'm your friend, I have to start watching you. Because the way you comparing your partner to my partner, you watch my partner too close. And I need to be careful what information I'm sharing with you too. Because evidently, I'm sharing some information that you keep taking as to try and break your boyfriend down, or your partner down. So I can see where there are instances that she needs to improve. So that's where I can say, okay, if you're saying it in that regard, I'm with you. But if you're talking about cheating, there is no conversation in terms of, I did this or you did this. No, you did this because you wanted to do this. I don't know what else to add.
I find that really interesting because one time I heard the speaker, well, he was a pastor, he was a counselor. You know who he is, Fabrice. And he was talking.
Fabrice Fatal.
He's light-skinned and he was talking about how when he does marriage counselling or premarital counselling, marriage counselling and someone has cheated, he will make both people write down how they contributed to the cheating in the situation.
That's fair enough.
Because he was saying, even if it's a small part, there is something that you can take responsibility for if you were the one who, if you were the partner of someone who cheated, if that makes sense. Yeah. And I have to really sit and think about that. I had to really sit and think about, is there something that a person can contribute to somebody cheating in a relationship? I don't even know if I want to wade into that one because I feel like I'm going to get a lot of hate, but I think it depends on the person.
No,
That's what.
no,
Go for it. Go for Fabrice.
Go for Bruce, go.
You see the question that she asked, personally, I think that was the question that a real therapist asked her. A real therapist would ask you, what would you do differently in that situation? Looking back now that you're aware of all the facts and you've calmed down, because I understand Deborah's reaction, because I'm actually, if somebody wants to embarrass me on TV, oh my goodness, I'm going to sit there and I'm going to say, you're embarrassing me, because I'm really deep in the fact that you've actually got me on here in front of all of my family and my ancestors to embarrass me.
Embarrass.
I am. So once I've gotten over that, I feel like somebody pulled to the side and said, what do you think you would have done differently? What part do you think you played in it? So I think it's a valid question, and I think it's a question that we can all ask in any relationship, with a friendship, with like how you relate to your parents, how you relate to your siblings. What would you do differently, and how do you think your behavior basically aided, or what's the opposite of aided? I don't know. Whatever the opposite of aided is. How did your behavior affect the scenario, and what would you have done differently if you could change? I think that's a really mature question to think about and answer. But I don't think Deborah thought of it by herself. No disrespect to her. I don't think she did. I just think they're too young. When I was how old, 24, 25?
24, I think she's 24, 23, 24.
Somebody had asked me that, I would have thrown something at you. How dare you ask me that question? No, I was way too volatile for that. So yeah, I don't know. I think it's a great question. It's one that we should all be asking ourselves, but she should ask that. However, I just want to say, I want to make it very clear, there's no amount of behavior that she can do. There's no asking and crying and begging for bags that's going to...
I agree.
She didn't push him to have an affair. That's not a push factor, and he wasn't justified in doing it. That's not, to me, we have a commitment between ourselves. If you want to break that commitment because I'm irritating you and you don't want to be with me, let's break it and then go and be with the ex-girlfriend. You don't get to do both and then come back to me and cry about it. Nah.
Yeah.
I was going to say, Kojo, I agree with everything you said, Fabi. I was going to say, Kojo, if the woman said what she needed to trust you was to look at your phone, would you let her?
What?
Like
If I cheated?
Okay. No. Okay, let me take it back. Because Deborah's whole thing was, like, we can see from the show, if we believe that it's real, let's pretend like it is. We can believe by watching the show that Deborah was very difficult to be with at certain times because of her lack of trust.
Yeah.
Lack of trust, her demands, it was a lot. It would be a lot for any person, man or woman, to be with. Now, I think the trust bit could have been alleviated a little bit if he was open with his phone, and which he says he is now. And if he just said, "Babe, there is nothing. Look at the phone. It's fine. Look at the phone." So I'm saying, if a woman said, "Kojo, what I need from you is to show me your phone and that would make me feel like I can trust you more," would you let her, or would you see it as like a violation? Because I think
if I've cheated,
Jamal saw it as an ego thing. Like, I'm not gonna be called out and look like some idiot because she's asked to look at my phone. I'm gonna let her.
If I cheated, I just want to make that clear. If I've cheated, right?
Let's say, this is the thing, and it was his ex-girlfriend in February. So how do we know the ex-girlfriend still messaging?
So obviously, if I've cheated, then I'm gonna have to. When someone cheats, okay, you've broken the trust, okay, and now you need to be open like you weren't before. So now I'm gonna
No. I mean before.
Before you cheat.
Before
it's confirmed that.
Oh, would I let her? No. Listen,
if she says that's what I need from you.
I've done that before. I've done that before. It doesn't change a thing. It doesn't change a thing. It doesn't make that person trust you any more than it did before. If anything, it adds more insecurity. Because there will be a message there that will look inconspicuous to you and it won't look inconspicuous to them because they're searching for something. You need to have this level of trust before then. If you have to go through my phone to feel like you trust me, you're already on a slippery slope. Right? It's the same thing. It's like this. If someone said to me, when you steal a sweet, you're ready to steal a TV. And I didn't understand it at first. When you steal a sweet, you're on your way to stealing a TV. Okay? Now you may think to yourself, I'm never gonna steal a TV, but you've already started the road. So you're already heading towards that place. Don't think you're too far from there. The moment I say to you, oh, I just need to see your phone to be able to trust you. I'm like, if you don't trust me now, baby, you looking at my phone will not make you feel at ease. It won't.
Do you know what Jamaicans say? I think Jamaicans say, if you can lie, you can teeth. If you can teeth, you can kill. So the same thing. If you're going to do a small lie, you're going to end up trying to kill someone, because actually it's a slippery slope. But I just want to say, and I'm not trying to start any wars, because I really don't like the wars between black men and black women, because nobody else does this and embarrass themselves. And like, but I do think there does seem to be like a narrative push that men don't like to be open with their phones, and it's always, you see all the memes about, oh, if you go to dinner with your girl and you go to the toilet, take your phone with you, and you know the guy, he could be dying for anything, but he's not gonna hand you his phone to do anything. And I just find it really odd. Like, I have a lot of friends who are married, and my married friends that act like that. I have a lot of friends who aren't married, and their boyfriends don't act like that either. But so I find this whole like, no, it's my phone. It's a personal thing to me. Oh, relax. It's not that serious. It's just not that serious to me. So I understand what you're saying. You know, you're like, actually, it's not going to help, and it's not going to alleviate them feeling any more secure. But I do think there is a little bit of, I do think guys oftentimes maybe don't help themselves inherently by just being a bit more protective, not secretive, but like a bit protective of the phone. Jamal didn't want to show his phone because he knew that he was messing around with his ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
I agree.
I couldn't date a guy who was overly secretive about his phone. I couldn't do it. Like, for me, it would just be a red flag. Like, if you need to take your phone to the toilet in the house, we're chilling, it's Netflix, you know, you got to run to the toilet, your phone's on the counter, you're like, oh, let me just put it in my... I'd have been like, I don't even need to take it. Something is wrong. Something is wrong. Every time your phone's in the room, it's face down, the phone's ringing. Like, I couldn't, because I'd be like, in my head, I'm like, you're up to something, because that behavior is a mess. And I knew a guy who was like that, and the girl stayed with him for years and years. And then she found that he was cheating with all these different people, and that she had chlamydia the whole time, and now she was infertile. True story. My thing is, ever since I heard that story, I was just like, never. If I see a guy and he's that secretive, I'm going to be like, do you know what? You're not going to kill me. You are not going to kill me and my fertility. I'm out.
Wow.
I mean, I actually agree with you. Do you know what I mean? I think...
Why do you sound so reluctant? Like, you
want to
stand up for your man there, you want to hold
They can die on their own hill, man. That's not for me. You know, no, I definitely agree with you. Do you know what I'm saying? In regards to that, in regards to the fact that if you're in a relationship, obviously, I shouldn't be protective over my phone. Do you know what I'm saying? Right? So I think that's the opposite end of things. You shouldn't be like, I don't have a password on my phone. Do you know what I mean? And when I'm in a relationship, if you want a passwords, I mean, for social media, my apps are always open, so you don't even need a password. You can go into it, you can look at it if you want to look at it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have passwords, so you can do what you need to do. So yeah, I think it shouldn't be a case of when someone rings you, you have to go your phone down. Like, I've never had to do that. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I've never had to do that. One, because I'm much more sneaky than that. But two, it doesn't make sense why. I'm only kidding. It makes no sense. It makes no sense to do that, because you're only going to incite more, a curiosity from the person and make them feel mad. So if your person is doing something mad, inevitably your phone will become protective. If you're not doing anything mad, you're usually pretty open with all your stuff. You don't have a problem. Do you know what I'm saying? But if you're going to do this, boys, do it properly. Some of you don't know how to do things properly. They have a second phone for a reason. You don't have a second phone. Use the same phone.
The second phone is just a given. A little
just
button
give
Second phone.
Oh, that was the second phone, isn't it?
He said no. He said now he has a second phone, and it's his business phone. She doesn't have the code for that, but she has the code for his main phone.
Oh, that's again. He's done. See that is a problem. Like, why would you have one phone open and the other phone not open? You're already psychologically saying that there's something going on with the other phone. That doesn't even make sense.
The whole thing is like, oh, it's my work phone. I'd be like, and I can't see a message from your clients who are. It don't make no sense. That shit phone doesn't even need to be secretive, but
I
whatever.
think he likes the drama. I honestly
He
think there's an
does.
element of that. He likes the drama and he likes the back and forth, and maybe he finds it sexy, and maybe it transfers into like other areas of their relationship. But he likes the drama, and I think there's a small part of him that is, I don't know, like that he likes about the element of Deborah when she's like, "What's going on?" and I want to see this and blah. I'm gonna pop up on you. Maybe he feels like that's a healthy relationship, but he's feeding her, like he's doing nothing to remove her insecurity, and it would be very simple for him to do it, very simple for him to do it, but he's almost doing it on purpose. In fact, I think he's doing it on purpose,
Yeah.
just to kind of keep her in this like
State.
really frantic
Limbo.
state of emotion, and I just think it's a bit unhealthy, to be honest.
To
Man,
be
them like
honest,
that
I think
toxic
you
love.
yeah, I do know what. I think you're making a very good point, Fabrice, because I think, do you know what? Everyone likes to be liked. This is what we said, that everyone wants to be wanted. Everyone wants to be wanted. I'm
Yep.
married. Does that mean that I don't like when a guy tries it on with me? I'm like, no, it's nice to know you still got it. I'm like, I'm married, it's not going to happen. But you're like, thank you, I'm flattered. Move on. This whole thing, like, because, and the reason why I think we can legit say that about Jamel and it goes to a next level. If you had Find My Phone or Track My Phone or whatever it is they call you, if you turn up more than 2 times to where I am on the off and you randomly turn up, relationship's done. That is some freaky stalker crap going on there. And I am not going to pay, like, we're at the family barbecue and you turn up. I'm at work and you're just going to show up at the window, talk about, hey, I'd be like, what is going on? Well, I just like to see
That's the
that you
beginning
are
of
what you say you are.
that's the beginning of a bad Tyler Perry film. Hello. Oh, he just said that the third time he's under your house trying to figure out how to kill you. No, I don't want to do that. No thanks.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. So the fact that he's still with her, on some level, it's true. He likes that. He likes the kind of crazy. He likes that. Oh, look, she can't get enough of me.
No, I definitely agree that I think there's a toxicness in Jamal. He likes the fact that she's, you know what, as much as I thought that Deborah, all the energy, like, I know what I'm about. Yeah, but chick, even with that energy, still you've got some growing to do in that aspect, because actually all that energy that you're throwing out about I want a man to provide, you really just want a man to care, because like you stuck in a position where you're letting this guy put you in a position where now you're still in this relationship with this guy who is still putting these kind of boundaries which are unnecessary, and still kind of treating you in a certain way that makes you feel insecure and feel mad. Sis, you were sitting on TV, okay, on my big screen TV, 40, 50-inch TV, saying that you brought me on here to embarrass me, and you're still back in that same position again with my man, and he's now saying, I've got one phone you can operate with, but the other phone you can't. And I've always said this, when someone cheats, the level of transparency has to actually increase. You have
Yeah.
to, in order to get that person back to where they were, they need an extra level of attention and care. And that means now I have to let you know now where I am, whenever I'm going, what time I'm going to be there. And then you may be getting 1 or 2 calls when you're there, because I have to make sure you are where you say you are, right? There's a hypervigilance that comes to the relationship. So if there's a hypervigilance that comes to a relationship, and now you're telling me that one phone you have the password for, but the other phone you don't need it, now we've got a problem. So he said that for me just reeks of either you do this on purpose or you really are naive, bro, thinking that this is the way to operate, and you haven't had very good instructions or information from somebody to really speak to you and let you know that this is not helping your relationship. So if you want a healthy relationship, maybe you want her to be mad. Some man them like toxic girl like that. They like the girl that are running crazy,
Yeah.
in the streets, that are hot headed. They like them type of girl. It makes them feel good, but that speaks to your brokenness, bro.
Well, what do you think, Kojo, about couples who have very inner friends? From when the friend the friend is just like, Fabrice, I just need to talk to you about your man. I feel like he should be doing better. What do you think of her? Because her friend came on the show and had a whole bunch to say. She was like, I don't get involved.
I
I
don't
give
like
her
her
good
energy.
advice. But I just feel like there probably is a bit too much sharing going on between them two.
Her energy was horrible. I don't like it. A beautiful girl, but her energy was just.
She is. Oh, you're
What
gonna say, Kojo?
what is there to say? Listen, birds of a flock. Birds of what is it? Feather. They flock together. You know what I mean? Like, you see, like, listen, these ostriches be coming together. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, let me be real. Like, on the real thing, like, obviously, yeah, I saw her friend come in, very beautiful girl, dressed in white too. I think she was dressed in white as well. So she got the memo.
Yeah.
So she got the memo to come in white too. And so I was like, okay, cool. Let me hear something that's gonna be like really good. That maybe, you know, she says, "Oh, I'm impartial," and I was like, "All right, cool," you know, and everything like that. But it's like, obviously, I know she doesn't like Jamal anyway, and that's probably because as a friend, she's seen certain things that Jamal has done. But I just thought to myself, like, when like I said again, when Deborah's comparing her man to your man, like, and she kind of said it a little bit. She did say first of all that she has told her. She did say that she has told her about like not doing that. So I can't shoot it down for that. But if you're an inner friend in general, that's what I'm talking about. This triangulation situation. When you bring that third party into a relationship, similar to what Paul did with his sister coming in, you cause issues in your relationship because that's another voice, right? And so that's another person that can kind of lead your relationship astray. I mean, have you not learned from Satan? Listen, that's a voice you do not want to be adding to your relationship. Sometimes people's voices are not important, okay? They're not important enough for you to consider in your relationship. They're a good friend, but they shouldn't overstep their boundary, and you shouldn't allow them to overstep their boundary as well. So, I mean, to be honest, she wasn't that bad, the friend, from what we heard. But someone might have saw something different, so...
Do you know what? I feel like she seemed cool, but it just made me feel a bit triggered because I've had friends talk me into relationships before. In terms of, he's a really good guy, Sophie. You should really give him a chance. When I'm just like, I don't think so. And they're like, no, he's a good guy. And then it all ends in a pile of crap. And I'm just like, I should have listened to my gut instincts. I should have just said no, because I did not think this was a good thing. So I feel like sometimes we do trust our friends, and sometimes it can end you in a bag of mess.
I think that gut instinct is the Holy Spirit. That's the Holy Spirit telling you, don't do it. I've told you, I'm telling you again, don't do it. But we want to be coerced by our friends into scenarios, and then when we're trying to cry, they're like, oh, are you sure he's a terrible person? You know, I don't think he's hello, are you okay? I'm here crying on your sofa. I actually don't like to get involved in my friends' scenarios, and the older I've become, the more I've just become like Nene Leaks, and I say, do you know what? If you like it, I love it. I promise you. If you like it, I love it. I'll be there to hold your hand. I'll be there to wipe the tears. But I'm not going to be telling you about your relationship. But my favorite sentence is, you know what, hun? I personally won't be able to manage that. But if you like it, I love it. Whatever you can do and manage for yourself. That's how I think Deborah's friend should have been, because I almost feel like Jamal is like.
But is that being a good friend, Fabrice? Is that being a good friend? Fabrice,
yeah,
Fabrice, I'll just be honest here. Fabrice is like the queen of friendships. She knows how to maintain friendships better than anybody I know. So I am sure over your time you've seen some toxicity. Like, how do you navigate that when you're like, nah, this is a toxic situation. I want to stay out of it, but that is my friend. Like, how then? Because that's the truth. What do you do? Sit back and be like, oh, okay, it's fine. I like it. I love it. But you're like, nah, this man is gonna end your mental sanity if you don't jump out of this.
I mean, honestly, just last month, my friend was dating a guy, and he was just madness, an actual madness. And I had to say, I said, I really don't like that for you, and I don't understand how you're still in that scenario. And I personally wouldn't be able to do it. But so you need to think about, can you manage this behavior if this behavior is only going to get worse because you're not even together? You're just dating, right? You're just dating. So my friend lives in America, and you know, everyone like does a lot of multi-dating. It's very normal. I'm like, so you're not exclusive. He's actually not your boyfriend, and he's not even your husband. This is behavior that you have. I can't manage it. So I try to just ask questions, because I've found in my life, when I tell my friends, actually, I don't like how he's treating you, actually, it doesn't make a difference. They will still marry them. They will still have children with them. And then when it doesn't work out, they're going to say, why didn't anybody tell me? And you're sitting there like, are you okay? Hello, we all tried to tell you. So it doesn't make a difference if you tell them. It doesn't. You just have to ask questions and say, I've asked the question a few times now. So now I'm just going to respect my own bounds and be like, if you like it, I love it. I will always question 1 or 2 times. But if you think I'm going to be sitting there doing arbitration with you and your boyfriend, absolutely no way. That's not my role. Because the two of you lie down together and talk at night time and be whispering sweet nothings on pillow talk, cussing me out. That girl Fabrice, yeah. No, that's not me. And also, I just want to say, I found that men do this very well. Maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong, Kojo. I feel like men don't really get involved in their guys' personal relationships. Even if their girls are doing a madness, they're just like, yo, bro, that's you.
We don't. But like, brother, listen, is that you? Cause that's you, bruv. And then we leave it as is, and we talk about other stuff. Yeah, we just leave it off the table. Do you know what I mean? But maybe that's also a flaw as well.
No, Kojo, what would it take? What would it take for you to, if he came in with a black eye, he was like, what happened, bro? No, she got a bit wild last night, bro. Like, listen, what would it take, Kojo, for you to be like, we need to sit down and have a conversation? No.
Man, them are consistent. Man, them are consistent. Listen, we're gonna be like, listen, bro. Let me just be real with you, brother. If she punched you in the eye like that, fam, listen, let me be honest with you, fam. You shouldn't be in this relationship, but you know what it is. If you want to do it, it's up to you, brother. And then we go about the rest of the business. What's the money saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, honestly, man, them like, unless it's so bad. But I mean, listen, like, because what men understand is each individual man is their own king. You can't come into somebody else's domain and tell them how to run their kingdom. So that you can't say too much. You know what I'm saying? Because it always ends in a fist fight. That's why man them fight first. It's like, do you know what I mean? So when your man's in a relationship and it's moving mad, you just say to the brother, listen, bro, I'm not gonna lie to you because I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I've seen her. This is the second time I've seen her out with another guy. It's looking a bit suspect. I think you need to handle that. That's what we're gonna. Now, if he now starts confessing to me that, like, oh, bro, I'm in an emotional space, then you open up yourself to me to talk. Then that's a different story. But if not, I'm just gonna like, bro, you got to handle the thing, cause she's all over the town right now, bro. That's all I can say about it.
How many men get emotional about it? How many men? Like out of 10, I rate out of 10. Like 1 and 2, 1 out of 10.
For a 2, if you're gonna call it that, 1, 2, because men don't like you. I mean, men can't. No, I'll be real. There are your boys that really will have a real conversation with you about relationships, right? They really will, right? If you've got a good friend that's a male, he will talk to you about relationships. But we don't oftentimes get too heavily involved. Like, if you come and tell us information, you're asking for me to give my opinion, then it's different. Other than that, we're like, bro, how's your girl? Oh, my girl's good. Oh, okay, bro, I appreciate that, man. It's good, man. I hope she's doing good. And we don't talk about anything else. Now, if you come with 2 black eyes, I'm like, bro, what happened? My girl hit me in the face. I'm like, bro, your girl hit me in the face. Bro, is this really a relationship you need to be in? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, really, like, I personally may become more therapeutic, but I'm honest with you, like, the other side of me just doesn't want to be therapeutic with you, bro. Like, bro, she's punched you in the eye twice. You need to handle the situation, bro. Like, I'm not saying hit her back. I'm saying get out of there. You know what I'm saying? And we don't want to do too much. I think that's why men probably sometimes our relationships are a bit crashed because we don't talk often enough. No, now you got 2 black eyes. I'm just like, bro.
I'm not going to let the men stand out there on their own. Women are like that too. Women can be very selective about what they tell their friends because your female friends, we don't have those same, I'm not going to say anything, we're going to say a lot. And you're going to be like, well, I did see him messaging his ex talking about how, he remembers those times when they were really happy, but I'm really not going to pay attention because, and usually I have seen it time and time again. The relationships falls to crap. And then it's like, well, for months he has been saying that, he wasn't happy and, he has been coming. There has been nights when I didn't know where he was, and you're just like, what? Why didn't you tell me this? And you're just like, because you knew. If you told me, I would have been like, babe, this is over.
Yeah.
This is over.
Women are very smart about what they tell their friends, even when it comes down to painting a picture of their partner. And that's why you have to be really careful what you tell your friends, because if you only ever tell your friends that how he's always late and this, that, and the other, and he's really irritating and whatever, it becomes then a problem when then you're then trying to, oh my goodness, he did this to me. Your friends are like, we don't even know how to be happy for you because you haven't presented that version of him to us. So yeah, women, you have to be careful the story or the persona that you're building of your partner to your friends. But honestly, I say the less people that you talk to about your innermost stuff, the better. You have to be
Yeah.
careful. Not everyone is your friend, Like, not
Yeah.
everyone is your friend, and not everybody wants to see you prosper. Even people who are in other relationships, I don't know, especially with women. Sometimes I think you have to be careful about who you share information with.
Yeah, I'm definitely in agreement to that. You know what? I learned that lesson. I think when I was in my first relationship, me and my boy were tight, like tight. And I remember I used to tell him we used to share these things, like because both of us talk about relationships quite a bit. And I was obviously I must have shared about like she's moving mad at this moment, bro. Like da da da. He's like, bro, I don't know why you're in that relationship. And I found myself defending it, like, bro, no, wait, hold on. When I'm telling you, I'm not telling you to tell me to leave. I'm tell you, listen, bro, it's a mad situation. Support me emotionally in this moment, bro. That's what I need you to do. I didn't ask for you to tell me to leave the relationship. And then I clocked, well, what have I told him?
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? So as much as we're sharing, I'm not realizing that what I'm sharing, maybe there's an over a sharing of negative things that are happening. You know what I'm saying? And so I didn't realize at that point. Into that moment, I woke up and I said, "Oh," because a similar situation happened to one of my guys. He was dating a girl, and we're all in the car chilling, right? We're all chilling in the car, like late at night. Man, them are having the late night. So sometimes we had this late night talk about women, right? Everyone's sharing their experiences of heartbreak and everything like that. Like these girls, we don't care for them no more. Da 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 da. Right? All right, cool.
Oh, yeah.
So obviously, one of the guys I was sharing about his girlfriend who they've kind of broken up, but they kind of got back together again. And he was telling us the stories about what she done. Now let me tell you this. Now, legit, she's crazy. I'm sorry. What you explained, she's crazy. So I said, man, the girl is mad, bro. You don't need to go for that. Let me tell you something. The way he turned around and said, listen, don't ever talk about my girl like that. Don't let her come out your lips again. I'm like, bro, why are you beefing me? You told me these stories and she sound crazy, right? So that's what I deeped. You see, we're all doing a bit. Sometimes you have to know you have to be careful what you share, right? And I think it takes also a level of maturity too, that when I'm sharing with you, it doesn't mean necessarily, if someone shares information with me, it doesn't mean they want me to tell them to leave. Sometimes they just need to decompress the information that they have at the moment to me. And it's not my job to tell you, go, stay, be in a relationship or not. You just want to decompress. I wasn't aware of that when I was younger. So now I'm much more aware. It's not everything I share. And it's definitely not every person I share with, because some of y'all are crazy, okay? So I think it just takes a level of maturity to understand that when someone is sharing with you, and it can be negative, they're not necessarily looking for you to say leave or anything. It's more of a case of, girl, I just want to say this, blah, 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 and I want you to say to me, yeah, he crazy, but you love him. And he's like, yeah, cool. That's what sometimes people want. They don't want you to say leave. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Yeah.
Does anyone wants to add to that? No?
No, I think you're so right, Kojo. I feel like I've definitely been the person who gives way too much advice, thinking that I know it all. I just think sometimes I just need to sit back and keep my mouth damn well shut and just listen. And no, 100%, because people, it's true. And I think one thing that I'm trying to learn to do is ask, because it's something that someone taught me. They were like, did you want advice or did you just want me to listen? And let people tell you what it is that they want, and they'll be honest. Like, I just wanna talk about it. No problem, I can do that. Because I think I've always assumed, oh, you talk to me, let me tell you what the best thing is to do.
Yeah.
Like, I know everything. I don't know everything. I can barely handle my own situations. Let me tell you that.
Yep.
So I think that there definitely needs to be in friendships, what do you need from me right now? Like, tell me what it is you need from me.
That's
And
real.
I feel like my husband has had to come in and say that, because I've been like, there's been times like, he's Mr. Fix It. Bloody hell. Oh, this is what you need to do. I'm just like, I just need to listen. I need
Yeah.
to listen, and I need you to tell me that really sucks, Sophie. I'm so sorry. That's a horrible thing. That's what I need you to. I want you to empathize with me. And he's just like, that's not my skill. I'm like, well, we're gonna learn today, aren't we? We are gonna learn, because that's what I'm going to need from you. So yeah, and he's now literally, sometimes I'm talking, he'll be like, oh, did you just want me to listen? I'm just like, yeah. And it really does help. But like I said, I'm 34 and I've lost relationships, and I've injured relationships by talking too much. So if you can learn it early, man. Learn it early.
Yeah. It's such a interesting thing. And do you know what? Races are interesting amongst, well, I know for men anyway, are quite interesting. Because when I was younger, You know, the guys that were moving mad and trying to have several girls. I remember one guy that was a player guy. I looked at him and said, "This guy loves to play. He really is enjoying." And he came to me one day. He was like, "Bro," he's like, because I must have said to him, I said, "Bro, I'm not my relationship. I'm not really feeling it at the moment, bro. Like, I'm not really there at the moment. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Not that I want to go and play the field. I'm just not really feeling a relationship at this moment." He said to me, "Bro, listen, we're just trying to be like you." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "No, we're actually trying to be like you, but we don't know how to do it." No, what? So you don't, and you don't
Wow.
realize people are suffering. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm looking at him like, but you guys are out there enjoying. It looks like you're smiling. You're always enjoying. You're with different women every single day. You know, because at a point as well. Let me just be real, ladies. If you've got a man who's rolling with other men who are moving mad, you might want to check the friends and make sure. Because let me tell you something now. Influences do take place. Okay. I was looking at them like, you know what, maybe one day I need to be like these guys, you know, and just kind of enjoy a little bit, you know what I'm saying? And he was like, "Listen, bro, don't join us on this end. You just stay where you are. We're trying to be like you, but we don't know how to do it just yet. We'll settle down and get there." Right? And it's like, it's mad because you think to yourself that they're enjoying themselves. And so you never know what people are thinking, you know, in these kind of things, these domains, when people, when you're dealing with
Mm.
relationships, you never know. And some people want to some people want you to join them too. Some people are single and want you to join them being single, so they don't mind what information you give them. They're going to use as ammunition because, baby girl, why are you here sweating about this relationship, babe? You know you need to be with us. Come out in the club. You do not need to be there, but they
Yep.
don't mind because they don't want to be alone. Do you know what I'm saying? They don't want to be alone, so
Completely.
you have to be very careful. Go for it, Paris.
Do you know what? Yeah. Sorry, no, go
Completely.
ahead, Fabi.
Nobody wants to be doing hot girl summer by themselves. They want to be doing hot girl summer with a group of friends. Like, it's not fun. But to speak to your point, though, I mean, it's like the off topic, but I tell all my friends in the relationships, I'm like, "Oh, you're complaining about whatever. Let me help you out. So dating in 2020 is the ghetto. So I'm going to need you to just get yourself together and realize that actually what you're complaining about, it's not really serious. It's not really a deal breaker. Like, stay committed in your relationship." But I think those kind of conversations happen when you are more emotionally mature. I don't want to say when you're older, because emotionally mature when you're younger. I have friends who are much younger than me who are very mature, and I'm like, wow, I don't know. Is it my influence? I don't think it is. Yeah, like honestly, there are people in there who want you to suffer, and they're enemies of progress, and they smile with you, but they're not really wanting the best for you in your relationship.
Real talk. Real
Sorry, Seth. I
talk.
think
And I no, and I was just saying like that whole club life, like for men, like it reminds me of this man that my mum used to be friends with. I can't even say what decade my mum's in. She doesn't even watch this, but she still kill me if she knows it's on the net. But someone she's been friends with for decades, a guy friend, and he was even when I knew him as a child growing up, a child going into teenager, I could see that this was a good looking man. Tall, dark, handsome. Do you know what I mean? I wasn't on him because I was a child, but I was aware that he was good looking. And he used to have a different woman, different woman, different woman, different woman, different woman, different woman. Now, 20 years on from that, man is lonely. He's still going to the club, trying to date women in like their 30s, even though he's a few decades older than that. And talking to my mom, and like he'll take these women on expensive holidays, and then once they've shopped him out on a holiday, he never sees them again. And my mom's like, "Don't you know they're using you?" And he's just like, "Well, yeah, but I'm just lonely. At least they want to spend time with me." Now hasn't had a daughter that he wasn't around for. Now she wants nothing to do with him, and he just wants to be in her life. I just feel like that life of like playing the field, man or woman, it just time moves very quickly. Like I talked to my niece who is 15. Is she six? No, she's 16. 16. And she looks at me, someone who's like double her age and then some, like I'm the oldest person in the world. And I'm like, babe, 15 is not far from 30. It's going to go very quickly. It's going to go very quickly. And you can think that you're in your 30s playing the field. Next thing you know, you're 50 and you're alone. And you're like, how on earth did I end up here? Like thinking that I had all this time, going
Mm,
through all these girls, and bam, here I am in the clubs at 60. That
that's
old guy.
embarrassing.
We all know that old
However,
guy. Yeah.
that old man will still be getting. He'll be getting a hot young wife. Have you seen Ronald Isaac's wife? She's my age. He's in his 70s. And
But he comes with bank balance, Fabrice. I'm talking about those guys who don't come with big bank balance. He's not just there because.
Oh, okay. The men who are scared of gold diggers but don't have gold. Now I understand what you mean. Yeah, I get it. Now I'm there. I understand. Yeah, that's a different scenario. It's true. It's true. There are plenty of people who are scared of gold diggers. Oh, I don't want to look for a gold digger. The question you need to ask yourself, sir, today, do you have any gold? Because if you don't have gold, you don't need to be concerned about gold diggers. Honestly, it's not you they're talking about. Come on.
Do men really say that?
I mean, I don't think they say that to women, but I think that is like a thing that men are concerned about. I think, I don't know, maybe you can tell
if you haven't got big money, what? Like if you're not earning above,
if you're not earning 6 figures, let's just say
over
600.
Yeah, I don't feel like you can be having that conversation, especially if you live in London. I'd be like, dude, it's gonna just cost you what you're earning to live and get a mortgage and go on 2 holidays a year.
Yep.
That is not the sort of lifestyle that someone is, in my opinion, going to be running you down for.
Yep.
So, no, that's no. But Kojo, for men like you who are earning over 6 figures,
Thank you for that.
I don't know what Kojo the provider. I don't know what you're earning, Kojo, but I'm saying, is that a real fear for men that like a woman's just gonna want me for my money? Have you seen some of your lower income people trying to have that conversation? You're like, bro, you like, do you know what I mean? Like, is that a real fear?
Do you know what? I mean, I don't know. I don't think I've ever heard any of my mans talk about a girl taking their money. Like, I don't know if this is more of an American thing because they seem to perpetrate a lot of people's mindsets. But my guys, I've never heard them say like, girls do that. But then one of my guys I was talking to, he did speak about that. But it wasn't necessarily a fear. She generally was like that. She just concerns about material. But it's rare that you hear that the man them say like this girl is here for just the finances in my circle anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like,
do you think it's easy to spot though? Do you think the Deborahs are easy to spot?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, like she's like a girl like that is gonna be upfront with her kind of behavior. I mean, you're gonna know straight away. Do you know what I'm saying? And like I said, I think I don't know. I feel like UK is really different. I think in UK we have a more egalitarian kind of viewpoint because I guess there's not many men who are. Look, if you're making 6 figures, if you're making even 80,000, you're in the top 5% in the country. The average income in UK, I think, is 23,000.
Yeah,
you know, like so.
Average dual income household is 40 grand. I couldn't believe it. I was like, what?
So there is. I mean, it's rare. It's darling. Yeah. We are not.
Average dual income household is 40 grand in the United Kingdom. I'm just like, and I'm out here complaining about my wage. I'm just like,
So yeah, I don't hear that conversation as much, to be honest. Don't think I've ever heard it, to be honest, with the mandem. But I may have different mandem, so yeah, I've never heard the mandem say, "Oh, that girl, all she wants me is for my money," or "I'm careful these girls because they only want my money." Nah, but then again, I don't know. I don't roll with guys that are flashy like that, so yeah.
I think it's the flashy guys because it's going to be the guys, the Chris's from Married at First Sight are going to come with that talk, but then they roll quite flashy. And then they get upset when women come after them for the money. I'm like, what do you think you were going to attract? You wanted to attract that sort of woman. You wanted to attract the sort of woman that keeps herself looking a certain way because she's trying to attract a guy who earns big money. And then you complain, talk about she only wants me for my money. So,
yeah.
You know,
I mean, have you ladies heard that? Have you heard men that you've maybe dated or gone on a date with, and he's kind of been like, you know, showed you that, like, you know, women are gold diggers or anything like that? Have you heard that kind of thing before?
Nah, not me. I could, but if a guy showed me that energy, I'd be out. Because for me, it sounds like you're too materialistic, and I'd be like, I'm not interested in that.
I've dated a few guys who are very flashy, but to be honest, the ones who are very flashy, they don't tend to say things like, "Oh, you're going to be I'm wary of women with my money." They act in a certain way to make you realize that actually they don't trust very easily. I dated one guy. That's not true. My friend dated a guy, and he picked us up in his Range Rover, and I'd never seen this. This is about 5 years ago, so this must be common for some people, but it wasn't for me. He opened the back doors.
I remember this.
Remember? His name was a hologram on the streets. So like you open the doors of his range and then his name appeared like as a hologram on like all the doors. And I just said, wow, amazing. I said, this is a bit flashy, very flashy guy. Don't drive my car, I'm gonna pull you over here, we're gonna have VIP treatment, blah, blah, blah. But very secretive, and definitely had more than one woman. Like, I mean, yeah, like it was just a very interesting, but he didn't set 100%. I mean, but he wore a wedding ring. So I don't really know what my friend expected, to be honest with you. So it was all a bit mad. But he didn't say things like, I don't want gold diggers, but he was just like, you guys are going to go into the VIP section and you have a limit. Don't spend any more than this because I don't have money to waste. Like those kind of perimeters, like very just the kind of things that you wouldn't necessarily expect to hear when you're going out with somebody. And I was like, oh, okay, that's a bit weird. Why would you say this is your tab? Don't spend any more. But yeah, like apart from that, I haven't really had that experience. And like I said, I have definitely dated a few guys who were like, Paul the provider, because they kind of sell you a dream at times, but actually, as we've come to realize, maybe it was all a dream.
I hear that.
We need to talk about Paul the provider.
Let's talk about Paul the provider. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I think you guys should start going Dutch in 2021. Just saying.
We should do what?
Sorry?
Yeah, you better mute yourself after that.
What was that, Fabrice? What was that, Fabrice?
Talk about we need to start going Dutch. Women need to start going Dutch in 2021.
Don't get me started on this.
You need to start going Dutch.
I really don't want to.
When you're working the way I'm working, I don't understand. You're acting as if we're still in 1950s. You don't work. Are you not working? Are you not working?
Are you okay? If I'm taking you out, then I'll pay. I'm not paying. I'm not doing anything.
Ooh, darling, I'm free this weekend.
No, no, please don't make me angry.
A free meal is always good.
If you don't have any money, just say that. If you can only afford Nando's, just say
if you didn't have money, just say that. Yeah, you're telling me you don't have money. 2021.
If a man asked me to go for dinner, yeah, and he chose the restaurant we were going to, and then he asked me to go Dutch, I'm not going to go Dutch. I'm going to say, oh, you'd like me to pay half? I'm going to pay for the bill. Because actually, I don't understand why you asked me out for dinner and you want me to pay.
Fair point.
I'm actually not the kind of girl.
This is it. Yeah, I'm going to pay and I'm going to walk off. I'm going to pay.
I'm paying and I'm gone, babe.
I'm walking. Yeah,
you have asked me to come for dinner.
You're so shallow. So shallow.
I'm not.
You know what? I'm gonna tell you a real story. I don't know if this friend is watching, but I'm gonna keep your name quiet and let me just say that. She went on a date with this guy who asked her out on the date, told her he was taking her to this specific restaurant because he knows she liked this cuisine. So he was just like, I want to take you here. And my man had like an allergy as well. So he was just like, it was a sacrifice. He's like, nah, I came here. Like, I know they serve a lot of nuts in the food, but I know this is the type of food that you like. And I was like, wow, that's a sacrifice. Only to find out when the bill come, my man's pretending like he can't find his wallet. Can't find the wallet. Can't find the wallet.
In 2021.
To the point, the waiter got uncomfortable and said, so is one person paying or is two? For my man to say, and she was just like, oh, okay, we can split. He was just like, oh, great, yeah, thanks. The bill was £40, under £40.
Get out of here.
I'm not joking.
It's been a difficult month for him. He hasn't made any sales.
No. And when I heard the story, I was hitting the roof. I was so angry because I'm like, how dare you? Ask me out. Take me to my favorite cuisine, talking about, you know, I love this food, to then pretend like you can't pay under £20 for me to eat.
We are washing dishes.
I'm telling you, look, I am not here for paying any of the meals in the first good few dates. I'm not going to do it.
What?
No, I'm not going to.
In 2021?
No, I'm not.
In 2021?
Look, I'm going to say this here. Look, yeah, in 2021. Let me say this, Kojo.
It's a bag of girls that can come for free, man. That's what's going on mad. I'm joking, go on.
I have only ever been in relationships with guys.
Yeah.
Who really wanted to be in a relationship with me.
I hear that.
I'm not someone who, like, I can see guys who I like and I can fancy guys, but I've never been someone who's like, I don't know, like guys can come and pass, but I'm not like every guy like, oh, him. It's kind of like, it kind of usually takes me a lot to really be
Okay.
interested in enough. Like they have to kind of run me down and they show like they're really interested. I'm like, oh, maybe this is someone to pay attention. Maybe this is someone to pay attention to. Apart from some guys who I really liked and they were waste men and I was in there for too long. So not including them. So but these guys always want to woo me. They always wanted to woo me. My boyfriends wanted to take me out and show me a good time and show me that they were really serious about me and they thought that I was special, and I allowed them to. So I feel like guys who are really invested are going to make the effort. Now, that doesn't mean we're going to do big dates all the time. I've gone to galleries, I've gone to here, I've gone to there. Like galleries in London are pretty much free and then you can go for a little meal afterwards. But a good first few dates, no, because I've never dated guys seriously who have asked me to or even made a show that they want me to, because it's like, I want to prove to you that I want to be with you. And then after a while, like when it's serious or in a relationship, I'm like, I'll catch a meal here, I'll catch a meal there. Like I have no problem with that. But in the
I'll
beginning,
catch a meal here and I'll catch a meal there. What kind of behavior is this? I'll catch a meal here, catch a meal there. What is that?
After a relationship, it has to be more than catching a meal. It's got to be more of a equal footing. Like, I'm gonna pay for this, we're gonna pay for this, blah blah blah. Because you're seeing that person as your potential. But so if I agree with you, I really do. I think it's actually not the money, it's the effort. It really comes down to effort because money is relative, and depending on what you do will depend on how much disposable income you have.
Yeah, you don't need to, you can go to a nice restaurant that isn't costing you the earth, but you've put thought into it.
Listen, I'm never paying for a date unless you're my girl already. It's just that simple.
Kojo, please tell me you're lying.
I'm not lying. Well, I've already secured you if I'm paying for a date. If I'm well, listen.
Where do you get to know her? You're not going on a date.
How else do I get to know? Why do I need to go to a date to get to know you? That's the mistake I think our generation makes. Why am I going on a date to get to know you?
So
what's your phone there for? I don't understand. Why can't I call you and have a conversation?
You're trying to wind me and Fabrice up tonight. That's what you're
trying to do. No, have a conversation on the phone and say, hey, what's going on, girl?
I tell you, I can't go to my husband angry, so I'm not going to rise to this. I'm not going to rise to this.
So I can't wait. Hold on. Let me say this. So I can't have a conversation with you on the phone. I can't talk to you now. Can't get to know you that way now. I have to pay for a date to get to know you.
No, we can do both, but it's not either or.
Listen, I'm going to be honest with you. Listen, I'm going to have a conversation first. How do I know your mindset's not trash? I need to know that your mindset's correct first, at least. If I'm going to pay for it to go out, I need to know that your mindset's correct. Do you understand?
You know what, Joe? It's done like 90% of the guys in London. I think that's very true. They're like, I'm not going to pay for dinner, but we can go for drinks. And I find that to be a very common thing, and that's absolutely fine. But this whole, I'm not going to take you out to eat food until you're my girlfriend, I don't really know about that. I think that's very interesting. I don't know how you can get to know somebody and determine that that's the one that God has for you over the phone.
How would you determine that over dinner? No, deep it. How would you determine that over dinner?
It doesn't have to be dinner though, love.
No, deep it. No, let's deep it. How would you know the person is the one as a guy? How would you know that he's because he's paid for a shard date? How will you know?
You know what? I'm gonna come back to you.
It's not about the shard though.
I'm just talking about the shard.
So like, I don't want you to take me to the shard because actually I've already been and it was nice, but I don't want to go back there again. I'd like to go somewhere else. And I'm actually really bougie. I want to go somewhere the food is fantastic, and I don't think the food was like great. It was nice, but there's other things to do apart from go to a fancy restaurant. It's very easy. Do something that really suits the individual. If the person likes books or art or cinema or whatever, like that's the effort we're talking about. But anyway, let's go to the divider today. So
no, I just got to come in and cuss Kojo just one time. Kojo has said he is Mr. Like he can't take no girl who's rude. He was just like he don't like rude women. He was like, if you're rude to the waiting staff, he's not in. There are certain things that you will see on the date that you cannot pick up on the phone. There's certain ways that people act. Maybe their timekeeping or the way they interact with other people.
Of course, that part, yeah.
All that stuff, all those cues that you don't really get. And like my husband told me because he went to a university where there was a lot of international students and he dated women internationally. And he was like, he met them in the university and then he dated them when they went back to their country. And he was like, you know, and he'll talk to like when he talks to other people like, oh, I've met this person long distance. What do you think? He was just like, it's cool, but just be very mindful. It's very easy to hide parts of yourself on the phone. He was like, you can be like, I'm not in the mood to talk. I'm going through a bad situation. and you be like, I'll call you tomorrow. It's like when you're dating, you can't get away from those things. When you see someone and they're mad and they just got that bad news, you can see the way that they react, the way you can't over the phone. So my friend, you pick and you choose and you do all that stuff, and then you're gonna be on the one crying in the car with your man, them talking about she was moving mad, bruv, and I never saw it because I only spoke to her on the phone.
I hear you still.
Just crying in the car. And, you know, she's mad. How did I miss it? I didn't expect it.
Exactly.
I don't particularly think there's any more success rate going on a date than there is than having a conversation. I think ladies can testify to that. You've gone to how many dates and what's more successful? There's no more success you on a date. Me too. Do you know what I'm gonna start doing in 2021? I'm gonna start saving girls as free food. That's what I need to start doing. I need to start saving you girls as free food in my thing. Free Chinese. Shard date. I need to start saving you guys. Go-karting. I'm saving you guys as events that you'll be taking me to 2021. Yeah.
Look,
I'm
let's
tired.
talk about Paul because I can't talk about this.
Sorry. So let's talk about Paul. Let's talk about Paul. Paul. So Paul, yeah, you saw obviously the fact that Paul didn't turn up to the actual reunion, and Chioma, you know, we thank God she came to the light and saw that the relationship is not working for her. What was your guys' thoughts on Paul and him and Chioma like breaking up finally?
I was glad she saw the light.
Say it again?
I was glad she saw the light.
You actually saw the light.
I thought Paul was going to come and collect his check, to be honest, from the reunion, because the reunion checks are usually very large. So I don't know what happened.
These people ain't getting paid. They are on here for the promotion.
No, I think they're getting a little check. Maybe not a big one, but a small check, because it's very embarrassing. It's very embarrassing to have these conversations on international TV. So I hope they do something.
I don't think Paul. Look, I believe the show is staged. That's me. But I'm gonna pretend like the show is real. And if the show is real, I don't think that Paul realized how odious he was. I honestly think he was living in some sort of narcissistic bubble. And then when you see yourself back on TV, you're just like, oh my days. And I think he was so shamed he couldn't come on the show because he knew he was just like, he was the best thing on that show in terms of entertainment, but he was also the worst of the people on there. And I just feel like his pride was just like, dude, you cannot go in here. And now he's out here doing a madness online still.
Go for it. Ooh, girl, your sound has gone a bit robotic, babe. The sound has gone a little bit. Oh, that's it. You're back. Okay, go for it.
Sorry.
Oh, okay,
I was
go
just
for
saying,
it.
for Paul, his madness knows no end. Like he's got no boundaries on his mad. No, I'm serious. So it's not enough that you're out here embarrassing yourself on international TV, and now you want to do a little stage video saying, "Oh, you now want to say movie role." You're mad. You've lost it, and it's okay. It's okay. You're actually mad. You're not okay.
No, I definitely. Do you know what made it even worse? It's the fact that when he did come out, it made it fit his persona even more. Like if you're having narcissistic or controlling kind of person, you now saying I was kind of acting makes it like, bro, yeah, that's what a narcissist would say, bro. So it's like you didn't actually help yourself. You actually dug the hole even deeper than you dug it before. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it didn't help his cause. You know what I'm saying? But Chioma obviously let us know that obviously that necessarily he wasn't necessarily providing. You know, he was 60-40. 60-40. What did you guys think of that? You know, I mean, if they had talked more on the phone before going on dates, they might have actually found that out, but you know, they didn't. So now she's paying 60-40. So what do you guys girls think?
Thank you, Fabrice. That is exactly how I feel. That's exactly how I feel. Do you know what? I feel like I think it's something that we spoke about early. Women, I've done this. We've all covered up stuff about people we were dating because we wanted to protect their rep. And that's what I feel like Chioma was doing. She was trying to protect his rep because if she'd have said that on the show, you know, it would have been a bloodbath. He would have gone crazy. But I think to be honest, I think it's very much in line with what I saw, because his whole high net worth individuals, and man could not explain what it is he did for a living. Literally sitting there
True.
stunted. It does not surprise me if he is in debt and he's maintaining a lifestyle. Well, not maintaining. He's trying to fund a lifestyle that he can't afford. I don't want no guy who's trying to keep up with his millionaire friends. I just look. Either you have the money or you don't. And I saw this with Kevin Hart when he had his documentary. And it pains me. He was talking to his personal trainer, and one time Kevin got so rude. He got so rude because the personal trainer was saying something to him, not even that bad. And he was like, "Do you own a house? Do you own a house?" And he was just like, "What?" And he was like, "No, do you own a house?" And they were friends like, "Kev, just leave." He's like, "No, do you own a house? I want to know." And he was just like, "I make money. I make money." He was just like, "All the money you make is from my pocket. If I don't eat, you don't eat. Do you even own that?" And I was just kind of like, wow. Wow. But you're rolling with people who are making the big bucks. You can't keep up with that lifestyle. Like, be honest about where you are and build what you can. And Paul, I think it's just the most unattractive thing for a man to be pretending that he's got money. It's just so unattractive.
Exactly. When you just know you should go Dutch on dates. Continue, Fabrice.
I can't do it with you today. I cannot. I can't. This is not who you are. Don't let the devil use you.
I'm sorry. I'm letting it go. I'm letting it go. My banter's stopping. Banter's stopping now. Go on.
I think people, not just men, but people who pretend to be operating with more than they have is very embarrassing, and it always comes to light. And I have to say as well, you know, like I tell my friends all the time, and I tell my sisters, I'm actually very transparent about money. I am my poorest friend. I work for a charity currently. I don't know why I did that. I wanted to save the world. Oh well. Yeah, like my other friends are dentists and doctors, and they work in banking. So I'm the poorest one. So when they want to go and do a lot of things on a regular basis, I can't do it, and that just has to be the situation, and that I'm okay with that. But my friends who have serious money, they don't boast about it.
It's true.
Actually, they're not like, they also don't go to Pakistan or the Shard or like, you know, Sexy Fish. They're not in Mayfair every weekend. My friends who've got serious money own land, houses, and holiday homes. And they're not sitting there saying, I'm a provider. They just get up and do what they have to do, and they're rolling in like 8 figures. Do you know what I mean? And I think that to me is a big red flag when anybody, man or woman, is saying, I've got money and, you know, my high net worth clients. Okay, where are they? Have you seen them?
Who are they?
Have you found them?
I hear that. Yeah. I mean, he did. He made it out. He made such a big deal of being a provider. To find out that you're not a provider is disappointing. And you know, it's like you sold us this hella dream of being this provider. But not only that, Chioma, you too, you also sold us too, because meanwhile you've been paying 60-40, and the whole entire time you've been lying, you've been slewing him the whole entire time on the actual therapy, saying he does this and that. But the one thing that we needed to know was that he's not a provider. The one thing that he's been using over your head the whole entire time, he's not doing. But less about her. It's more about Paul, you know. And so Paul, unfortunately, has encapsulated what we get with people who really have got some, I would like to say, narcissistic traits. You know what I'm saying? Whether he's acting or not doesn't make no difference. We know we can see certain people or experience certain people in life who have been him, right? Got the gift of the gab, can talk their way out of anything, but actually they don't have anything. Right, you know, and that big chest that you brought out here to say your whole job is a provider. That's your job. You're failing your job. Yeah, right now you're on performance development. That's what you're on, PD, because you're 60-40 with your girl, and you were then trying to restrict the worst thing is he's not even like he was even trying to celebrate her bag. So when she's now getting her bag from Instagram, you also now want to restrict the bag, and it's paying your bills. So you literally want to cut her off and cut yourself off too. This is not working very well. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's sadness, but that's what insecurity would do. That's what you know, being so enveloped with yourself will do as well.
Sure. But you know what? I feel like Chioma does have some responsibility to take, because I think Chioma, when she was like, "Oh, I fell in love with the dream," I'm just like, "Yeah, you want a rich guy."
That's the truth.
Let's be very clear. Like, you're the certain sort of woman I feel like we can see from her Instagram she's looking for a certain type of man, and that's fine. But don't say that's not one of the reasons why you was with Paul or why you stuck with him, and that you hope that these things would, come to fruition in his life. Because the bravado that he had, you were attracted to it at some point. So to be out here cussing him and be like, "Oh, I'm not going to say anything bad about him," but like she went for him that entire aftermath show, and I was just like, fair enough, but take some responsibility. You're the one who stuck around for 3 years for who knows what.
She even used the
Yeah.
word. She was referencing like she was almost talking like she was in prison or in prison and trapped in the relationship. Especially then when her friend came out again, also wearing white. I think she had on the white. I don't know.
Yeah. I can't remember her name though. Was it Victoria or something like that?
Something like that. And so Chioma was talking like, I'm free. I think she said, I'm free now. We're free. We can do whatever. And you are free. And you may have felt trapped in the relationship, but ultimately you're an adult and you could have walked away at any time. And you have to ask yourself, why did you remain there when you felt so trapped?
Real talk. Real talk on that one.
I think also go for it, Sophie. Yeah,
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, go. You can go.
I was just gonna change the subject and see what
Go
have
for
you
it.
been with your sister
Oh,
and that mad ass phone call.
I mean, you won't learn that on a date, but yeah. Anyway, go on. Yeah, sorry. That's one more. I'm so sorry, Laura. I said I wasn't doing more. I'm sorry. Let me get it out. No. Yeah, no. The sister was. Well, I mean, the sister did what the sister did. I don't understand. I don't understand what the phone call was about. Like, if this is real life, I ain't gonna lie to you. Maybe actually now I might have taken a call just to wind the person up. But I don't. Yeah, it was a that conversation, like I guess it needs to be in person anyway, because on the phone the sister here is moving mad too, right? How are you going to say that? First of all, number one, this is not a given fact. Everybody knows how Choma is on backchat. Well, I didn't think Choma was bad on backchat. Okay, now I knew she liked her material things. I already kind of knew that. She said that, we didn't mind. That's her thing. We don't complain. She never had a bad rep on back chat. So I don't know why you're making it as if the whole nation was against Chioma and this and that. Everybody knows how she is. And then two, you've already disqualified her as a good mother, but you have the audacity to leave your children with her. Are you all right? Your brain is not working. Like, if I'm saying to you that you are a bad father figure and then I come and leave the kids with you, that means I'm also a bad father figure for thinking that I can leave my kids with somebody who's a bad father figure. That makes no sense at all. And she tried to get out of it, and I was like, no, sis, no, Choma's right here. How can you think that? So it just exposed that the sister has got a very skewed and warped mentality to think that you can dump your kids on somebody and still have a negative aspect to them. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's just not really making much sense here. So I was not on the sister's side at all. Don't know what you know this for. What do you think?
The sister was like,
side.
No?
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say I didn't agree with the sister at all. And that whole stuff about, well, I told him you were just like all the other girls and you weren't going to last, because I'm just like, I'm not here for the... No. If we break up, trust me, that's when I'm going to go for the siblings. Because I'm like, you know what? I don't owe anything to anybody now. And you were going to get the full weight of my mouth.
Yeah, I actually thought the sister came with a little bit of a bullyish behavior and just like a bit of a horrible tactic. And I don't know if she's a little bit older than Choma. I think Choma said that she is a little bit older. They're almost age mates. And I just think she went on there just to embarrass her. To be honest with you, though, I actually think Choma did well, because I'm not convinced I could break up with somebody and then have your sister speaking to me like I'm any small child or small girl on the phone, and I'm not going to cuss you out. I don't know if I have it in me. Jesus might have to work on me a little while longer, because I would have either put the phone down or you would have heard exactly what I thought about you and what my family thought about you. So yeah, I don't know. But I thought she came with like a little bit of a bullying mentality, and I just think she's a female version of Paul, actually. So I understand how they're siblings.
I'm with you on that. I definitely believe the sister came to to bully. I mean, I think I think someone's put it even there. She did come to apologize, sister. I don't know
That
how
was
we
a
ended up
lot.
at the bottom.
She said that to get on the show.
I
That's the
know,
thing.
yeah.
She said that, yeah, I just want to make peace. Yeah, I just wanted this. Yeah, I wanted that. And she came on there to be like, no, I'm gonna rep for my brother and talk about
She
why
came to destroy her.
She really did.
She
And
came to
I would have
destroy
hung
her.
up the phone a long time. I'd be like, I'm not gonna do
Yeah,
this.
I wouldn't have had it, to be honest. Like it was just disrespectful. And it's again it speaks a lot about the boundaries that Paul was not able to institute with his sister. It's like, bro, like your sister shouldn't be calling out Chioma. And then, by the way, obviously Chioma was saying that Paul's trying to still get back with me. Do you not think to regulate your sister if you're trying to get back with her? Do you not think to
No,
regulate the person that's being wild right now? You might want to regulate her, bro. Like it's not gonna help your cause, and it's like
real
things like that. You're not helping yourself, Paul. I mean, I don't want us to go back anyway, but again, it just shows again, whatever the relationship you have with you and your sister, it's not conducive for a relationship. Anybody who gets in a relationship will have an intrusive in-law with your sister, and I think that is not an appropriate relationship to go into. So if you're a lady, please, Paul is not the guy right now until he learns how to regulate his family members.
Said it all.
Okay. Any last words, guys?
I just want to say, I think the reason why you have to go on dates with people is because let me get close. Okay? Let me get close. And friends. The reason why you have to go on dates with people is because you have to know. Sometimes their sister might call their phone, and you need to know how they talk to them. When they're talking
That's
to them
very
and
true.
kind of recommend, you can say, "Oh, you don't really respect your sister." When they're talking to them and explaining the ins and outs of the dates, you can be like, "You're a bit too close to your sister." To be honest with you, I have dated a guy who was very similar to Paul, who was very close with his sister, and I did find it a bit strange. I'm not trying to accuse anybody of anything.
I don't mean, yeah.
And I'm not trying to say, don't let me suspect you, but I found it a bit odd. Like, I wanted to go somewhere, and I said, oh, shall we go? And his response was, I'm going with my sister. And I said, okay. So, yeah, friends, go on dates with people, please, and leave room for the Holy Spirit. Okay, thanks.
Yeah, love that. 2021. Make sure you ladies start taking out these men too, okay? Yeah, Soph, what do you want to say?
I think my final thoughts were I have just thoroughly enjoyed Blue Therapy. I have only looked at it as a piece of entertainment. I'm not that invested in these people's lives. Like I think it's all fake and staged, but I think it was a great piece of entertainment. And to be honest, I would watch season 2.
I'm with you on that. Yeah, I appreciated the content they put out there, so they took my 250. Guys, some people are saying they're not taking any men out in 2021. It's time for a change, ladies. Time for a change. Feminism, guys. Feminism. Third wave. We don't want the first two because those were sensible. The third one. We want the third one. No, I'm joking. But yeah, ladies, it's been a pleasure. We'll have to find another show we can talk over. I don't know if you guys are gonna be involved with Love Island because that comes out soon. Hey, listen,
Love Island, Kojo, I am here for Love Island 2021. I will be the #1 commentator on that show. If you want to talk about Love Island, Fabrice and I are here all
if you're ready.
Let me tell you, I'm in a lit group chat for Love Island. It hasn't closed since 2019. It's lit.
Damn.
Everybody thinks they're extremely funny. I've got plenty to say.
Well, we can always use a few more people on the board, you know what I'm saying? Because, it would be nice to review the show. I'm saying Love Island's coming out. I think I just saw Netflix that Too Hot to Handle, I think season 2 is also coming out as well at the end of this month. So, listen, a couple of things are going off, guys. So make sure you guys tune in. There'll be more stuff we'll be bringing out from the UK shores, okay? We appreciate you. Stay locked and stay loaded. Oh, what do you want to say? Sorry, apologies. You're right. My bad. Thank you for reminding me, Soph. Go for it. Sorry
okay, I'm Sophie Hannah at I am Sophie Hannah. Make sure you go and see me on YouTube. Go subscribe to my channel, same name, to see the content that I'm putting out. And go and follow me on Instagram as well at I am Sophie Hannah. Trying to get to 1,000 followers this year. I'm 25 off, so come over and show some love.
Love for that, Fabrice.
And evening, everyone, or good night, as the Jamaicans say. And that's why I'm fab. You can find me on Instagram. And yeah, I'm one third of a podcast called Black No Filter. We're also on Instagram, Black No Filter, no spaces. And just put out a really interesting creative praise and worship session called Divine Sessions. And we'd love you to take a look at that. That's on YouTube. And that's everything's under my Instagram. That's why I'm fab.
Guys, it's been a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful session. Ladies, thank you so much for joining me today. Like I said, we'll be back very, very soon. There's too much stuff that are going on, so we're going to have to start doing some more reviews together. So stay tuned, guys. Stay locked and stay loaded and stay hydrated. Also, I got a new catchphrase, guys. Now it's called "The tea runneth over and it runneth deep." Appreciate you guys. Stay locked and stay loaded.